Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to season 2 of Pachinko. It has been almost 2 years plus since this show came out and aired, and what a first season it had. Now, my last review was about April 29th, April 30th, 2022, for the season 1 finale, episode 8 of Pachinko. Well, we are now on season 2, and in this video, I'm going to review season 2 Episode 1, Chapter 9. So they're going in chapter orders. And let me tell you, you thought season 1 was interesting. I feel like season 2 is going to be even crazier and even better. And I mean that. Now, we are in the crux of World War II. It is 1945, and the war is happening. And it's just really, really interesting. Now, the series does continue to switch back and forth between the perspectives of Sunja and Solomon within each episode, but it does change back and forth, as I stated, between 1945 to 1989. You do get confused at times, like I did between the first season where they went back and forth. You had to really understand what was going on, but then it just, goes right into it. But it does help create a interesting way of showing how things are done and the aspect and prospect of what's going to happen. And it's really, really fun because we see that in this season 2, it's just in your face, it's interesting. But for a show to come out about 2 years later with everything that happened in the industry with Hollywood is really, really good. Not only that, we see that it opens up in a train station in Osaka in 1945. We see Hansu meets with one of his employees, and he has something that he's holding. And it's unclear at first what this so-called object is, but later on, Hansu reveals the truth of what it is and the nature and value of it, which is a really, really interesting thing. Now, in the next scene, we see a teenage Noah and a young Nozazu running through the Osaka marketplace, and their children, they seem lighthearted, fun, even though it becomes clear right away that that this season is going to be focused on them, and that the entire neighborhood is struggling because of the war that is taking place. Now, Sunja is selling kimchi in her market, or at the market. If you remember, at the ending of the first season, it happened. It's their only source of income since her husband was arrested. I won't go into details of what happened. Just watch the first season or go back and see my season 1 episodic reviews. And she comments to a friend or a customer named Mr. Kim that she will do whatever it takes to earn money to protect and help her family and her 2 boys. And then all of a sudden, you see planes flying over them. And when this happens, it's very ominous because things start falling from the sky. All of a sudden, these pamphlets start falling from the sky. And you see that it says that it implores the Japanese people to plead with their emperor to halt the war. So it's really interesting how all that is taking place and how all that's happening. And all of a sudden, we see 2 things going on. But then you see a big, big topic of racism where the 2 brothers are definitely having racist behavior, but quite differently, if I may say so. And the reason is that while they're in school, and it's a really powerful scene, you see that they're both teased in separate classrooms because about the Korean food that they brought in for lunch. We see Mozasu, although still a young child, he takes this teasing in stride. He stands up on his desk and proclaims that he loves the lunch and the food he has gotten until a teacher walks in and, he stops everything. But then you see Noah, on the other hand, who kind of is ridiculed by his classmates, but just sits there and takes it. That's all. He just takes the bullying, which is really interesting. So it's going to see the difference in how these 2 brothers, one is very, very, very reserved, the other is very open and out there. And not only that, you have some time between the second timeline, which has passed. It's still 1989, and Sunja's grandson Solomon is busy trying to pick himself back up after the events of season 1, which what happened. Which, if you forgot, I will tell you, it kind of includes kind of sabotaging a multi-million-dollar or even $1 billion deal, just add inflation to it, and watching his childhood friend die of AIDS, which was a big, big reveal and topic in season 1. Not only that, Solomon is plotting to open an investment fund of his own and is hustling for investors back and forth for his new venture. But it's not going well as he thought or as he would think it is. This episode is really, really good, very different. Like I said, it's very confusing at times when they go back and forth between the past and the present, and it's just really, really in your face. They find a way to illustrate certain emotional dynamics between every single character. Characters do return, some characters don't return. You might see some characters later on in the episode. This season, just like season 1, is 8 episodes long. So it premiered on August 23rd, 2024 on Apple TV Plus. And the season 2 finale, episode 8, chapter 16, will be on October 11th, 2024. So it's really, really good to see this show back. The writing is exceptional. It's really, really fun. Just to juggle all these characters is really, really, I want to say, time consuming. But for the aspect and how long these episodes are, between 45 minutes to 65 minutes long, depending on how long they want to tell a story, it's really, really good. This is the only thing right now that Apple TV Plus has going for them based on original ideas and content. Amazing acting, amazing, settings and storylines, and just seeing what's happening. And it's a Korean Japanese mix with American soap opera, thrown in there, but it's really good, and I'm really, really happy it's back, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen in this season and how much impact the past has on the future and how certain things happen within the family dynamic of this story, because it's the family dynamic that really, really brings it together and puts it together, but then also breaks it apart and destroys it. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about season 2, episode 1, chapter 9 of Pachinko. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the aspect of the story, knowing that we got right into World War II? Did you like that we went into it so fast, or did you want that build up, or once you're into it, you know where they are, you know what's happening? How do you think this season will play out? How do you think the past will affect the future, and how will the family dynamic be there in the end, especially for an 8-episode second season, just like the first? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. And if you haven't, be sure you click that subscribe button, click that notification bell for my episodic weekly reviews of Pachinko. So stay tuned for my episode weekly reviews of this show. Every Friday, Saturday, I'll be putting it out once I watch it, and let me know what you all think about it. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next review video.